Rant Network with Stuart Brisgel and David Solomon. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
Hey, folks, what's up? Stuart, what's up?
Hey, it's Friday, man. TGIF. I got my coffee in one hand, I got my water in the other hand, and I got good old Darth Vader and all my pop heads on the other side.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's, hey, like you said, TGIF, it's Friday, and we're looking forward to the weekend. And so, folks, like what we try to do every Friday is to come up with, a rant where, hey, neither of us know where we're coming from. And we're just trying to make it a little bit light, maybe a little bit silly, sometimes poking fun at ourselves, sometimes poking fun at people. We've had some pretty serious ones in the last. Oh, I'm gonna start us off today on Free Flow Friday, and what I'm going to talk about is, and you heard me earlier this week, and Stuart off camera called us the losers. But yes, sadly enough, my hometown hockey team that I grew up and I loved and watched win Stanley Cup after Stanley Cup after Stanley Cup lost to a team that was able to cheat the system, and they did it well and legitimately and whatever. Not going to get into that today, but congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning the Stanley Cup. Sad for my team to lose, and hope we could do it again next year and come in. Which brings to the thing.
Lose again next year?
No, I want to win. I'm going to go there next again. But anyway, Stuart, let's move on, okay? So once upon a time, when Stuart actually did live in Montreal, and we were here, it was in the 1970s, six times out of 10, the Montreal Canadiens won the Stanley Cup. And the mayor of Montreal, a man named Jean Drapeau, who was a real son of a, was asked.
Do you want me to say it for you? Son of a bitch.
All right. So Mr. Drapeau, but he, not rest in peace because he was a son of a bitch, was asked quite a few times, Mr. Drapeau, where are we doing the parade? And he would answer, the usual route. And it became a common point of real painful statement to other cities to say, what an arrogant statement. But we grew up imagine in 10 years, 6 times we celebrated. Since 1993, since the year I got married, actually, 3 weeks after the Canadiens last won a Stanley Cup, I got married. So it's all our fault. It's all our fault. Yeah, my wife and I were to be blamed and whatever. We haven't won the Stanley Cup. It's the first time we got to the finals. And, COVID and everything, everybody was excited in the city. It was a great 7-week run where we got excited. We should have lost. We didn't lose, blah, blah, blah. Not the point. But a rumor floated around that we should have a Stanley Cup parade anyways. Win or lose. Now, Aaron Rand, a local radio personality that Stuart might remember from a long time ago.
Actually, I remember Aaron Rand, just so you know. Side note, David, I should throw at you. He hit me while I was driving my bike on Woodlawn Drive.
Yeah, well, that Aaron hasn't changed much. But anyways, all this to say is that basically his statement was that a suggestion has been made that we hold a Stanley Cup parade anyways, a way to salute the team for a great season where they almost won the cup, because basically the equivalent of an adult participation medal. So I heard that, and people were like, so what do you think of this? I said, what a stupid idea. In principle, calling it a parade that we celebrate that we almost won is the total equivalency of what we're hearing today by people. We need to give everybody participation medals. Everybody has to feel good. I don't know about you, but I saw 23 guys and coaches and whatever get off the ice not happy. They aren't happy that they lost, and they don't want to celebrate that they were the number 1 losers, because essentially the finalist who loses is the biggest loser. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Had you called it a team appreciation in the time of COVID, where you appreciate what the team did for the city during a very difficult time, I can rationalize that. But for God's sakes, to have a loser parade, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be part of that. And I love this team, and I love these players, and I'm a passionate fan. I'm on the fanatic spectrum. Call it whatever you want. But I will not ever go to a participation medal-like parade where we're going to celebrate being the best loser. You don't. I get in the Olympics, when you win a medal, sure, gold, silver, bronze, I get it. But in no time have you ever really seen the loser of the Super Bowl, the loser of the World Series, okay, the loser of the NBA Finals. They do not get a parade because they were the number one loser. Like, get over it. I'm just laughing because it is so, like, I'm so sorry that for a city that celebrated its champions for 3 decades, to go out and to become the biggest loser, no. And Aura, absolutely. Words do matter. And I'm really one who believes in that. I'm in sales. I talk to people all day long, and words do matter. And how you phrase something is super critical. And this, to position this as a loser parade, Stuart, I have to tell you, I really was ill. I was really saddened to hear that this is what the city of Montreal wants to do. Now, it died. No one is real. There are no plans as far as I'm concerned.
No riots. No riots.
No. Actually, you know what? Nothing. It was zero. And I got to tell you, the city behaved. Everything was fine. We didn't destroy downtown Montreal. Everything was fine. What happened in 86 and 93 did not reoccur. But what you hear overall is that people do want to party. People do want to celebrate.
Oh yeah,
but not being the number one.
If I lived in a tyrannist province like you, I'd want to do anything to get the hell out.
Well, let's be careful. Again, using the word tyrannical in Quebec is not exactly what I would say either, because again, I don't want to be boxed in with other people that who claim that. The answer is absolutely not. So the point of the matter is, guys, if you're you know what? If you're in a city that is never looking for an excuse, yeah, sure, why not?
All right,
not here, please.
David, you know what? I like the Canadians. I've got a son that tells me they're a loser since the 93 lucky game that they won. And yes, David, I grew up in the 70s and 80s and watched the Montreal Canadiens absolutely eviscerate the rest of hockey over and over and over again, even when they should not have even been there, from last place to the Stanley Cup. But, you know, Dave, I feel for you. I feel for all those people in Quebec and around the world that remember the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to say this, may they rest in peace. They got a massive shock that they couldn't fake their way to another Stanley Cup.
Just to be a favor, Stuart.
Yeah.
Stay in Florida. Stay in Florida. None of us want you back after a remark like that.
But I get bagels. I get St. Louis bagels. Listen, I'm a Canadiens fan.
You could tell. You see, you don't even get it right. We don't do St. Louis bagels. We do St. Viator bagels. We do, we do Fairmount.
Well, it is St. Viator. My apologies. I'll post the picture online.
I see that you're the Florida sun got to you. All right, what's your rant today, buddy?
You know, guys, I'm the guy who normally rails on and gets a little bit lippy about all these different topics and has a real vile opinion about some people. And Aura, I'm talking about our history, our roots. And, you know, recently I was given the opportunity to partake in 23andMe. And I got to tell you, spitting a couple of times in a cup, sending it out and waiting several weeks for it to come back, not really knowing what's it all about. But, you know, at the same time, I got involved on pulling up my family tree. And I have a cousin whose son, Micah, decided to build out, you know, a lot of the family tree. That if I was to explain to you how far it goes back, it's absolutely and utterly ridiculous how many hundreds of years and the people we can do. But what I'm most interested in is, you know, they do an ancestry component at 23andMe. And it, you know, I say that I'm Jewish. David, you say you're Jewish. Well, you know, what percentage are you Jewish? You know, we've got some friends that we grew up with in Montreal, and I could say with utter certainty that I'm 99.1% thing sounds really, really cool. But on this path that I was looking up and seeing where I came from, the origins, which pretty much felt exactly the way that I thought it was, I discovered I had a relationship. And a relationship is someone that I was DNA related to. And I'm trying to pull it up here. And so in the process, I was scrolling through a list of names of people that I share, right, DNA with. And I'm going to pull up this person because it's going to be absolutely mind-boggling. For me, at least, it was. And his name is Daniel Nagler. Where is the search button here? There we go. Search Daniel. Let's see if I can pull it up here. So Danny Nagler is someone that lives in Hollywood, Florida. He's a doctor and actually is a friend of mine, someone I've known for almost 17 years. And you know, Danny Nagler lives in my neighborhood for the last God knows how long. And all of a sudden, let me just find this here map. Let me bring you down. I found the buttons. And in the process, by tracking the DNA, you start to see where they look at people from different parts of the world. We're all matching, and I granulize it into my little neck of the woods, and I drill a little closer in 17, and then I click on 7, and I am now in where? Where is it here? Got to see here. I can't see. My screen's in the way. Delray, Pompano, Fort Lauderdale. Let me click on Fort Lauderdale. Where is Danny Nagler?
So what a surprise that you have Eastern European matching relatives living in Florida. Who would have thought
it's a little closer than that, actually. and that's the funny part. And I'm trying to find it here because I discover that I found a third cousin. Yes, a third cousin who lived around the corner from me for 10, 15 years that I never knew I was related to. So I called him. I got to find it now. It's kind of driving me nuts. So I kind of found him. There we go. Danny Nagler. There we go. He's my third cousin. And that's the relationship, right? He's my third cousin. So it's my great-great-grandparents and him are how I'm related. You know, it's amazing on how we're all connected. And like, as I sit here in Florida looking at my cousin Micah's tree that he put up, I'm going to flick over to my family tree. And I got to tell you, and mine looks miniaturized because I don't know how to work it that well. But, you know, the bottom line is we all come from somewhere. We all have roots. And my roots, David, are in Montreal with you and the Montreal Canadiens. And again, I really, really, really do love Montreal Canadian hockey. And I have fond memories of my mother and father, right? Going to the Heart and Stroke, the Richard Nadler Heart and Stroke Foundation used to do a skate-a-thon that my father ended up being the president of that chapter. And so I had a lot of exposure to guys like Guy Lafleur, Larry Robinson, you know, the iconic 70s guys.
Yep.
And so, David, you know, I wasn't going to talk about hockey. I just wanted to talk about our roots. And David, our roots are ingrained in where we come from. And that means I come from Montreal. And to all those people who ever question how Jewish I am, guys, I got good news and bad news. I'm 99.9%
0.1
within the margin of error.
Yeah.
No, because I got to take the margin of error out.
Yeah. I you know what's impressive, and I think that what we're going to find is that if more people actually spent the time in doing these type of tests, and again, the validity of 23andMe and all that stuff, I mean, call it for what it is, we're going to find that we're a lot closer to other people than anything else. What's scary is that I've heard stories of people who are from the same family, but because of life situations took different paths and were on opposite sides, some converted, some whatever, and all of a sudden they found out that they were related.
Yep.
That's pretty unbelievable.
David, look at this list.
I can't see it. It's too small.
Okay.
So in 15 seconds, Stuart, would you recommend people to actually do this?
You know, I'm going to tell people, you know, it takes a lot of time. Spit in a cup 6 times. And I don't care what brand. I'm not a spokesperson for 23andMe. But I'll tell you, it is fun and it's interesting. And my friend Danny Nagler, who's out in California on a business trip, is going to come back to Florida. I'm going to look very much forward on getting together and playing this geography, because as I scroll through this list, these are all people that I share DNA with. For better or worse, guys, I'm not alone, and nor are you.
Well, folks, like this is fun. I actually didn't know where you were going with this, but like we are so closely related in some cases. For all we know, Stuart and I might actually be related. We don't even know it. But
David, I did look for Solomon's on the list, and I got safe news for your mother, because she used to curse at me as if I was her own kid. She can continue cursing you and picking on you because we're not related.
That's good. Fantastic.
In my regards to your mom.
If I go back, yeah, we'll do. And I'm sure if I go deep enough, who knows? But look, folks, it's been a fun week, crazy week. And again, we'll be back here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. Who knows what we're going to talk about?
Well, I want to ask you a question, Dave. Do you want to continue on this education rail?
Hey, why not? We can talk
rail?
about it next week. Well, you know what? Actually, a lot of people commented to me about what we talked about parenting, and they figured it could have gone longer. So, hey, guys, stay tuned Monday, because we're just going to continue the question about parenting, schools, and the rest. Man, oh man, are we doing right by our kids? Have yourselves a